in this lecture we will learn about one very interesting thing that is known as thread synchronization. So why is thread synchronization needed? So we will see one problem of interference between threads, okay, and what it can do for you, okay. So when there are a lot of people doing something, you have to manage them, okay, synchronize them, otherwise you will have problems. Many people, okay, many people is equal to faster work, okay, but at the same time you have to manage them so that they do not destroy each other's work, okay. So there are some constraints and we will look at one of them. So let's see. I have a very simple counter class, okay. There is a counter class, it has just got one variable count, okay. So we have got just one variable count and we initialize it to 0 in the constructor, and we have two very simple methods. One is increment, it does count plus plus. Another one is decrement, that decrements, okay, the value of count. This is very simple, and we the problem but here is that multiple threads are going to use this. So let's say multiple, we have just two threads T1 and T2, okay. They are going to work on one variable known as count, okay. There is only one memory where count is stored, and both of them, so the thread T1 in its run method, so its work is basically to increment the value of that count. Thread 2 wants to decrement the value of count, okay. So they are doing the two functions, calling the two functions. Thread 1 increments the value of count, thread 2 decrements the value of count. So in your main you will start T1 dot start and T2 dot start, you do, and they will in turn call their functions, which is increment. Thread T1 will do increment, thread 2 will do decrement. So what will happen? Any class 1 guy can also tell that if you do 0 plus 1 it will become 1, then you do 1 minus 1 it will become 0. So simple. But when you have two threads it is not as simple as that. This result, final result, should be 0, but we will see that we might not get an answer which is 0. So expected answer is 0, but let's see what are the possible cases if you allow two threads parallelly to do call these methods, okay. So we will now see what happens. So if it was just a single thread, this would be the result 0, okay. But if it is multi-threaded, you have multiple choice question now. Answer can be 0, 1, minus 1. These three are all possible. So now you will say, why is that possible? It is such a simple thing, count plus plus, count minus minus. Two threads, why are they making it so complicated and giving such foolish answer, okay. So they are giving such, they cannot even add 1 plus 1, 1 minus 1, they cannot do even that. Then why the heck we will use threads at all? But okay, so but let's see the problem first, why it arises. So when you do a simple seek or count plus plus, in fact it is not that simple. If you zoom it little bit, so zoom it, I have made something like this, zooming I do. So what happens, you have the count variable, so we have registers, okay, register variables are there which the computer uses. So if you are doing count plus plus, it will first copy the value of count in the register R. Now if it is increment, it will increment the register, R is R plus 1, and then it will copy that value, incremented value, back to count, okay. So this is for increment, this is the 3-step process. Similarly for decrement, again we will, so if you have a register here and count is there, so count let's say has 5, So first this value is copied in the register here, then if it is decrement, I will decrement, write 4 here, then I will copy it back here, so it becomes a 4. So 3-step process, that increment, decrement. And now we will see how these things can break your answer or rule. So interleaving might arise. Okay, so this is the basic problem. Threads get the CPU time. Okay, so threads, if you see, so sometimes, so there are 3 steps. So sometimes thread T1 will be there, next T2 can come, again T1, then T2, then T1. So like this, the CPU can be shared with T1 and T2 in any interleaved form. Okay, that you cannot decide. Okay, it can be any interleaving. So we have 3 processes, steps. So I1 is copy the value of counter in register. Okay, so this is there. I2 is increment and I3 is copy back. Okay, so copy back, that was the value there into the register. Okay, so and decrement also. So for D1, copy the value in counter to the register. D2, decrement the value in register. D3, copy back the value in the register to the counter. Okay, so these are there. Now let's say that threads, now this is the CPU. First thread 1, so it executes its line 1, that is copy. It copies the counter value into the register. Okay, I1 is done. Then D1, which means now thread 2 copies its value into register. I2, thread 1 now increments the value that was copied from counter into its register. It increments it. D2, now the thread 2 is given the chance, it decrements the value now in its register. I3 now gets the chance, that thread T1, and it executes the step 3. It copies the value in its register back to the counter. And finally the thread 2, it also copies its value in R2 back to the register. So now let's see the values. Register R1 is there for the thread T1, register R2 is there for T2. So R1, so here we have R1 is equal to counter, so count, so R1 becomes 0. R2, so R2 is also equal to counter C, so R2 becomes 0. Then in the third step, what happens? In the third times slash, the thread 1 gets chance, it does R1 plus plus, hence R1 becomes 1. Now thread 2 gets a chance, it does follow, execute step 2, so R2 minus minus, R2 becomes minus 1. Decrement, again thread 1 gets a chance, it now copies value in R1 to the count, so it becomes 1, this is fine. Now thread 2 copies its value in register 2 to count, so it becomes minus 1. So finally you will see a value which is minus 1. So we had expected increment and then decrement, so 0 plus 1 and 1 minus 1, it would be 0, but here you are getting an answer which is minus 1. Similarly, if there was another interleaving I1, I2, D1, D2, D3, I3, so R1 becomes 0. By thread T1, it copies it into R1, the value count was initially 0, it is copied in R1. In second step, second time slice, thread 2 executes and it also copies the value of count into R2. So here, okay, so now in thread 1 only executes I2, so R1 becomes a 1, so R1 plus plus happened and it became 1. Now what happens? D1 comes, that is the thread 2 executes its first part, R2 is copied from counter, it becomes 0. D2 follows, thread 2 executes its second step, R2 minus minus, so R2 becomes minus 1. Then D3 itself happens, thread 2 completed all its operation, it copies back value in R2 to count, so it becomes minus 1. Now finally thread 1 comes and it copies its value back to count, so it becomes a 1. Again your answer is wrong. Okay, the only way now you can get correct answer is here. If we see I1, I2, I3, you complete all of them together, so this becomes atomic operation, everything completed. So now R1 was copied, count was copied in R1, R1 becomes 0, R1 plus plus R1 becomes 1. Now value in register R1 is copied to count, it becomes 1, count becomes 1. Now thread T2 starts and it copies R2 in register 2, it copies count, it becomes 1, decrements it, R2 becomes 0, and then it copies R2 value in count, so it becomes a 0. So this is a correct result. So you see that thread synchronization is very necessary, and it can be achieved only if we write a public and here write a synchronized keyword. Okay, so this is a synchronized keyword that you have to add. And by this what happens, when one thread is acting on object of this, no other thread can go and execute inside a synchronized method. Okay, so that will solve a problem. So when you write a synchronized, this whole thing, count plus plus or count minus minus, all the three steps will happen at the same time. Okay, so they will happen and no other thread can interrupt in between, and no interleaving will happen them. So no interleaving will happen, and only when whole of this count plus plus is done, executed, then only other thread will be allowed to run any synchronized method. So I hope you understand this thread interference and how to remove it. So thanks a lot.